Hey everyone, Viker77 here. I want to show off today my custom 12-inch Luke Bespin figure. Now, I'm going to claim that I made this from the Collector's Series Bespin Luke, but in actuality, the only thing I used from that figure was the clothes and the accessories, which are actually pretty decent, so it's actually worth getting that. Now, if you have that figure, or if you've seen it on eBay or YouTube, if you're like me, you're going to say the figure just doesn't look that great. I mean, the face and the head sculpt is just awful, and the body is way too bulky. So in order to address those issues, I did a couple of things. First thing I did was I went to my local Walmart and I picked up for $10 a Ken figure. Yeah, believe it or not, this is actually a modified Barbie Ken figure. It's much more thin. It just fits Luke's physique a lot better. So, for the head, I went to eBay and I got a custom 12-inch Luke head. Now, this showed up not painted. I think it cost me about $15 delivered, and the Collector's Series figure cost me probably about $15 delivered. So all in all, I paid about $40 for all of the stuff I needed to make this figure, which is a lot better than the $300 you're going to spend for the high-end figure, which is a really great figure. I just don't have that much money to spend. So I bought the head, like I said, on eBay, and I painted it myself. I think I did a halfway decent job. Looks alright. But in order to put it on the body, I had to fashion a little peg. Now this peg is made out of clay. It's made out of the Sculpey. Sorry about that. It's made out of Sculpey, and the head comes with no hole, so I had to drill the hole. Sorry, I forgot. Had to drill the hole, had to make the peg. Pretty easy to do, it works just fine. Now, here's the other thing that I did. I wanted a Luke Bespin after his battle with Vader. So the first thing I did was I cut off the arm. Now you can probably not see that, but you're going to have to take my word for it. I cut off the arm. And what I did was I simply glued a nail. I clipped off the head of the nail, and I used my hot glue gun and hot glue to glue this nail in there, and then I drilled a similar tiny hole in the rest of his arm so that I can put the arm on or take it off. So put the arm on is before the battle, take it off is of course after the battle. Now I'm going to have to admit this figure doesn't stand that well, so I usually have it on my shelf up against a wall. Now the last thing I did was I made a completely new head sculpt for him, and I'm going to have to admit there's a decent amount of customization in this figure. So if you're new to doing it, you might not want to start out with something like this. I should back up. Before I get to the head sculpt, I'm going to talk about the jacket. I added about 3/4 of an inch of fabric in between. I cut off the bottom because the jacket was just too short. So I cut off the bottom. I used my hot glue gun again, and I glued in about 3/4 inch of just any type of fabric, because I should also point out that I painted the fabric. I just spray painted it with some tan spray paint. The spray paint leaks through the fabric, so the fabric it's a little bit crunchy. It's a little bit stiff, but it works, I think, because the original color of the jacket was just too green, and the tan works a whole lot better in my opinion. Okay, now for the custom post-battle head. I took my original head and I made a Sculpey mold of it. So this is the mold that I made. All you have to do is you take your Sculpey and you fit it over the face like this. Now, works much better for me if I let it sit and kind of, it doesn't really dry, but it hardens a little bit if you let it sit for at least 10 minutes, maybe a half an hour just to be sure, and then you can wiggle out your original piece that you're making the mold of, and then you put this in the oven for 15 minutes, and it says like 250, but I use like 150 and it works fine for me. And you get this type of a mold, and then you take more Sculpey and you put it in the mold, of course, let it sit and dry for about 10-15 minutes, pull it out, and then you can manipulate the face to make it look more like he's, you know, been in battle and kind of damaged. So I did that, and I made an entirely new head of Luke Skywalker after the battle. So he's kind of beat up, his look is a little more disheveled. I painted that, and now for the hair, what I did was I went to my dollar store. I bought a cheap knockoff Barbie doll for like $1, and I used the hair off of that, and I just glued it on with some rubber cement. And you know, for a head that cost me basically like $1, I think it looks pretty decent. So we'll put that on the figure. And now we've got a Luke Bespin after his battle with Vader. So I showed you the Luke Bespin before the battle with Vader. This is after the battle with Vader. This is how I usually display him because I think it looks pretty cool. Let me know what you think. Comments down below if you want to try this. Give me some questions. Once again, check out a couple other channels that I like. The Budget Jedi and E the Angel. They do some really nice stuff. I hope you like what I did here, and thanks for watching.